Good morning, good morning. So we're gonna go live in a second with another episode of Dry Time. So I'm just waiting when the news will be over. Yeah, the news are going on. So we're just gonna wait when they're gonna reach me out. So today's topic gonna be about insurance. We'll go continue about insurance write-offs. And should you be taking a car to insurance recommended garage? So enjoy Christmas. I mean, not Christmas. I mean, come on. New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, last day of the year. So the special with us. The Michael is joining. Dave gonna call in from France. So we're gonna roll with dry time. Insurance write-offs, and should you take your car to insurance recommended garage? So Michael is an expert, engineer, independent assessor. So you can ask him some questions. I hope it will be fun as could be. Talking about insurance write-offs, it's not really always a great topic for somebody as the pain comes along through that. Let's see where the news are. Yeah, I think the news are running out, and we're gonna go live Dry Time on expatradio.uk. You can listen live on expatradio.uk. Join us there. You might have a clearer sound. You can watch my ugly face as well on a Facebook Live. So we got 30 seconds and we're rolling. We got 30 seconds. Here we go. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Michael. Good morning. Be back on a Facebook Live as well. It's just me. It's Klavs.
Not the same one, but they've got one each.
Yeah.
Morning, chaps. How are we?
Morning, guys. We are over the moon, I would say. It's a last day of the year.
Good morning. Oh,
He's there.
Me to death again. I thought we'd lost Uncle Michael again. I thought he'd gone in Starbucks again.
I could hear you two guys, but you could obviously not hear me, unfortunately. So yeah, all right.
Morning, Michael. I hope you're well.
Yeah, I'm fine, gentlemen. Thank you. You?
Yeah, we are great. I said I'm over the moon because it's drive time. Welcome on Expat Radio.
What are you both doing for tonight? Are you going out? What's the plan?
What we doing? I'm not sure what Michael is doing, but what I'm gonna do, I don't even know. I will come up with some random idea and I will just do it. Yeah. But
sounds official.
You know, it's the New Year's Eve. I think it's meant to be spontaneous, right? I mean, what mince pie, and then go out, Dave.
A mince pie. You're a bit late with the mince pie, but you're supposed to be on here. We're talking. Well, what would you have on a New Year? For something on New Year's Eve, for just before you go out. I had an email actually of a girl tonight. What she's going to do is she's going to Wales with her friends, and they're walking up some hill so they can see over the Cheshire Plain and see fireworks going off at midnight.
That's a clever thing.
They're taking bottles of wine with them in the rucksacks up to the top of this hill. I'm thinking it's going to be bloody freezing. You're going to need a flash of hot coffee and tea. Never mind a bottle of cold wine. I mean, that's potty, isn't it?
Nah, I feel sorry for them. They will be super tired.
You you can imagine blooming Air Sea Rescue being called out to them at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Only thing what they will find is just the bottles.
Yeah, well, yeah, and them staggering down, falling flat on their faces. It'd be like something out of Little House on the Prairie gone wrong, coming back down again.
Michael, what you think you're gonna eat today? What about insurance written off cake?
God, no, I had so much cake and mince pies, thank you. Just have something nice and light like a chicken for a change, yes.
All right, which doesn't smell like a fish, or I mean, oh, it would smell like a fish.
Oh, God forbid! What have you been eating? If chicken smells of fish.
No, I'm just remembering your discussion when you said you're not the person who likes the fish, and you rather eat something else.
Oh right. Well, you know.
Because in France, that's what they're only giving you to eat. It's just fish. Every time you go somewhere to shop, you have just.
In London, it's this jellied eel thing. I don't get that. There's a shop in there called El Men's. It's owned by a family called El Men's, and they do jellied eels. That's what they do, and it's like, oh, there's nothing in just.
In what, in West End?
It's revolting, doesn't it? Jelly eels. Oh.
Yeah, but have you ever had it, Michael?
No, never tried. Never tried. No.
And do they have it hot or cold? It's supposed to be served cold, isn't it? In like a jelly.
I haven't tried it either.
Oh, yeah.
Don't bear thinking about it. I don't get the attraction to it, mate. But oh.
Then I think we rather stick to the fish, right? I mean, like salmon.
It just I'd rather have
Roasted oysters.
John Smith's. A tin of John Smith's, and that'll keep me happy. And I don't mean the pate. I mean the pizza. Anyway, we're going off the subject here. You two are supposed to be talking about cars this morning.
Yes.
So I'm going to put my feet on the desk, my hands behind my head, and away you go.
All right, let's roll in. All right, it's dry time. So we got Michael Morris. He's independent assessor, and today we're just gonna continue our boring subject, what we started on a Thursday, about why insurance write-offs are great. Yeah, and today we're gonna continue with obviously when you had an accident and it's might be written off, you have to take it to the garage, and we've been discussing with Michael last Thursday. That could be a quite interesting one. Everyone has this sort of choice. Should you take it to the insurance recommended garage, or should you not? And now I'm gonna ask Michael, if my car would be smashed or somebody would run into it, what should I be aware of?
Okay.
And what's going on behind the doors in the industry?
Right. Okay. This obviously is not connected with total loss vehicles. This
Yeah.
is if you just had a normal accident. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, insurance companies nowadays want you to go and use their approved repairer, and the idea of that is because they can control costs. And this sort of went back to, I think, the first insurer that I've got recollection of was JSV Most Policies back in the late 70s.
Okay.
When Datsun first started importing Datsuns into the UK, and really and truly no one was interested in insuring them. So one of the schemes they came up with a company called JSV Most Policies was an approved repairship. So if you bought a Datsun at a dealer, they would sell you the JSV insurance, and then when you had an accident, you had to go to their approved repairer.
Okay.
Then later, a direct line came along, and they were the first real major insurer to promote it as well.
Okay. Is the JSB still around, or they just dust off somewhere?
JSB, no, I don't think they're in existence. They was a Lloyd's syndicate, so I think they've disappeared like a lot of Lloyd's agents.
Okay.
So basically, they got an approved repairer, and their idea is to control repair costs. So they negotiate preferential labour rates, parts discounts, paint and sundries discounted, and they try and sell it to the owner by saying they get free collection and delivery, free valeting, etc. 5-year guarantees on paintwork and warranties, which all sounds very, very good indeed.
That sounds like to me like a great business, right?
I mean, it sounds for
the insurance companies, I mean.
Well, yeah, but for the policy holder, they sell it on, you know, these are our repairers, etc. You know, the car will be collected within 24 hours or sometimes less. Free courtesy car, free delivery, etc. But there's obviously a downside, is where they all control costs to such an extent. It now has affected the quality of repairs. With other things, and if we go back 20 years, we probably, as engineers, we were probably seeing 2 or 3 complaints a year. Nowadays, we were actually seeing some days 2 or 3 a day.
So that is because of the poor workmanship, poor work quality.
And I wouldn't. Yes, and it's across the board. Now, if someone asked me quite a few years ago, where I would recommend taking them to a garage, I'd probably recommend half a dozen in a locality. Now I won't even recommend one.
So if you just making things a bit simpler, so the best thing would be what should I be doing, and what some customers, I mean the listeners, the car owners, if it happens, what would be what rather they should be doing? Or if somebody doesn't want to hassle, if they want a customer service, great customer service, and I mean, obviously their choice is simply choose what the insurance company is offering. But if somebody stood their ground, right, what they should be doing, what I should be doing, should be just look in my own garage. I mean, how should I go about it?
Okay. You have a right to choose your own garage. But unfortunately, if it's in the terms and conditions that you've got to use the approved repairer, you've got to use the approved repairer. Some insurers, I don't know how many insurers actually insist on that, but a lot of the insurers now have got clauses where you can use your own repairer, but they charge you additional excess.
All right. I like this industry, you know.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest downfalls is on late vehicles.
Okay.
Under 3 year old and warranty. As soon as they realise that a vehicle's gone somewhere else and been repaired, they then advise the owners that their warranty is void on that particular item. Paint work, body work. Obviously, if it's a mechanical component that's been replaced, a chassis leg, a suspension leg or something like that, they will then tell them that it won't be covered by the 3-year warranty, it will only be covered by the year warranty.
Well, you mean we're talking about not manufacturing warranty after the accident, but we're talking about what the insurance will cover?
I'm talking about manufacturer's warranty. So if there's a mechanical component, it will still have a year's warranty because it's a new item.
Yeah.
But you know, it won't have the 3 years warranty on it because they will say it to be replaced as part of accident. It wasn't done by a main dealer, so it's not covered. The insurance companies will turn around and say that their paintwork is guaranteed for 5 to 6 years. But the problem is then, if you do have a defect in your paint, you end up in the middle of the insurance company arguing it's a manufacturer defect, and the manufacturer saying no, it's down to the insurance repair.
In which case, if that vehicle wasn't being taken to the manufacturer's approved body shop.
Yeah.
But would you not be a bit silly, not if your car is under 3 years old and you know the car is new? Would you not be silly yourself not to take it to manufacturer's approved body repair shop to actually rectify the vehicles?
I would think so, but the trouble is the insurance company are very smooth at talking their policy holders into doing so. They assure them that their work's guaranteed. And yes, it is guaranteed, but one of the biggest problems is that if there is a fault with the repairer, with the standard repair, it goes back to the repairer first thing. It goes back to the repairer.
Yeah.
So give the opportunity to put it right, and then if they don't, it then goes off to a repairer of the policyholder's choice.
Okay.
But so all this cost is aimed back at the original repairer. So it's a win-win situation for the insurance company. They got reduced repair costs to start with, because they've reduced those costs severely in certain sense. The repairs are being carried out properly, and when they go wrong, the original repairer pays for it, or it's put right elsewhere, and they deduct the money from the original repairer.
Yeah, and then the biggest downside is once that has happened, right? They're earning money on, well, they're meant to be earning money on if people don't crash their vehicles, technically, right? Because everyone pays in advance. You got a big pot of money, and then that's the point would be of the insurance. But then if they're earning money kind of really 2 ways or 3 ways on then when you are in a trouble with your vehicle, then they in the same and on a same token they're pulling your premiums up, right?
Yeah.
So technically they never losing the money.
No. I mean, it has got a slight advantage where that if you did have a problem with the vehicle under the warranty period, the repair warranty period, you can go back to the insurer. So if it is 4 years after the event, they will deal with it. Whereas if you took it to your local repairer and it's not in existence in 4 years' time, you're lumbered. You can't have it put right. So there are very slight advantages to it, but not on a new car. I would say that if it's under 3 years and it's under warranty, I would always recommend going back to the manufacturer.
Yeah, that's what I would do. 100%. There is no even doubt thinking about taking somewhere else, because the manufacturer, end of the day, their body shop, they approved and they're fixing those specific vehicles, and they will fix up to the standard, and certain quality standards as well are in place.
Yeah. A lot of the main insurers don't have their own repair body shops.
Yeah, I noticed that as well now.
So they put them out to network repairers that are sort of nationwide. I mean, some of them get a sort of 20% complaint ratio, and they think that's acceptable.
Okay.
Which is, to me, is a sort of ridiculously high amount.
But technically, you can make a complaint about because you don't like how it's been sprayed slightly, because the biggest thing is, I believe, is just if you put in slightly the category C and D aside, but even if you're just respraying a panel to code match the paint, I think even if you're getting slightly that one wrong, and if somebody is super highly sensitive to the colors, then that will be a complaint as well,
Yeah. I mean another thing that they do with their approved repairers is they fit pattern parts. Vehicles over a year old, they start fitting pattern parts. So for the listeners that don't want to know what a pattern part is, it's a panel or a headlamp or something like that. It's been manufactured by an outsourced to and then not made to the standard that the original manufacturer was. On bonnets and things like that, they're flimsy. When you lift them up, you can tell it's a pattern part.
All right. So on which point they're allowed to put those patent parts, and when it's under 3 years old, they can do this as well. When you choose to take to the insurance approved garage, or there are limitations what they can do and can they not, and how would I know as a customer I have original parts fitted, and can I request original parts fitted? Under what circumstances? Or that's again terms and conditions, or there's general rules in the industry?
Sorry, the line went then close. I didn't quite get that fully.
Yeah, Michael, we're gonna continue this after the music. So they're gonna play us. They're gonna play something nice to us.
Yeah, we'll be back with the boys straight after this. This is a hat and Take On Me on New Year's Eve.
I like that. Let's do this. Yeah. So we are back live on a Facebook. So while the Dave is playing the tune, basically what my question was, we're gonna continue while Dave is enjoying the music. I forgot what was my question.
How do you know, wasn't it?
Nah, is there general rules in an industry under which the insurance companies have to comply and fit original parts to the vehicle, and when they are allowed to put patent parts or even maybe second-hand parts?
Well, no. I think I can't remember the last time I dealt with it with a claim that was allowed second-hand recycled parts. That just is not allowed with the insurance industry. I think they tried it many years ago, but it wasn't successful. But the parts, the patent parts are approved by Thatcham, which is an organisation, research centre, which the motor industry pays for, and the patent parts go off to them for approval. But I would say the majority of body shops do not like fitting patent parts because of the standard of them and how they don't fit as well as an original manufacturer's part.
Well, even the Thatcham approved ones.
Yeah. Not everyone. Some of them are okay, but the majority of them are acceptable, but they're not as good as the original.
All right, and obviously, how do you know how did say normal person would know which is Thatcham approved part or not, and how can they see what's been fitted? Is there any like control as well of what's been actually physically fitted on a vehicle, even if it's been approved? Okay, you have to fit this particular Thatcham approved parts or original parts. Is there anyone checks actually what's been fitted on a car?
No. But look, they use a system called Auditex nowadays.
Yeah.
If the manufacturer wants patent parts fitted, when they do the estimate, it will come up. It will tell them what parts are available and to be fitted.
All right. Interesting. But did you have the situations as well while we waiting for Dave, where actually that approved body shop, who's approved by the insurance company, actually fitted not approved parts?
What do you mean they're not approved parts?
Say, for instance, they had to fit a Thatcham approved body panels, and or different like light clusters and so on, and they actually been. We got 2 seconds, and we're going back live, and they
check the oil tires and I'll pick the tires just to check I've got air in them.
Yeah, morning. Welcome back to Drive Time with Klavs, and we have Michael as a guest, independent engineer, assessor. So, and we're talking about who is just actually joining just now. We're talking about insurance write-offs and why or should you choose insurance recommended garage. So that's our conversation today. And Dave is actually chilling out, drinking probably whiskey, already warming up for today's grand event. Michael, we've been talking about the FATCHM approved parts, right? And how the insurance companies and at which point they are allowed to select, to drive, to transition between original part, let's assume second-hand part, and FATCHM approved part, or patent part, which is approved by FATCHM. Is there any rules in industry? And how the ordinary person like me, or let's say Dave, or any of our listeners can actually know what's actually after the repairs has been fitted?
It's hard. Joe Public probably would not realise. It's only when you start looking at bonnet lines, door lines, fitments, contours, where they match the surrounding areas. Bumpers are very flimsy. They're not as rigid when you push them. Yes, it's just comparing it with what was originally fitted.
Yeah, the corners not aligning up properly. They're not as exact shape.
Yeah. But can I just go back to? So I think we've only got a few more minutes. I think you've been told to be sharp today.
Yeah.
If we could just go back to approved repairers, one thing I did want to make people aware of.
Yeah, let's do that.
There are insurance companies out there that have a fixed rate agreement with the repairer. So normal insurers will work out their average costs, which depending on the companies could be £1,200, £1,600 to £1,600 per vehicle. That's their average cost to cut across the complete portfolio.
But that's what their maximum would pay to that approved repairer.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that's their average repair cost. All insurers work out their average repair cost and they charge premiums accordingly. But what happens with fixed rate repairs is they will pay that repairer that amount. So if the vehicle wants a door mirror, they will pay them £1,600, we'll say. If it wants a new bonnet, wings, front bumpers, they will still only pay them £1,600. Obviously, there's a caveat on this. There's an upper amount where it comes out that scheme. Some I think about £5,000–6,000. So basically, what happens then is if they're only getting £1,500–1,600 for repair, they're going to attempt to repair everything. They're going to put a massive amount of filler in the wing rather than put the wing on because it's cheaper to do. And that again ends up with poor repairs.
That was a good point, and it leads me to another question, right? Would that fixed cost, what insurance companies actually put it in their agreements against approved the body shops, right? Would that fixed cost amounts not driving actually cat ends going high because it's too expensive to repair? Who decides it will be too expensive? With the garage says no, we can't fix it within that offered amount, and they just write and put it as a cat end.
Obviously, the rules for apply as normal. That if it's uneconomical, it won't be considered repair
At all.
Yeah, it will. Yes, it will. The standard rules apply against with regards to the salvage value, etc., and the principle of whether it is uneconomical to repair. Yeah.
Okay, so basically they're working out the economical repair based on salvage value plus the repair costs. That's what you sort of that's where you're leading to?
No, the rules are the same. If it's economical to repair, in theory, right, okay, they will do. Right, okay, let's right. I think I understand where you're coming from.
I'm confusing Michael.
No. Right. Let's give an example. If the vehicle's worth £3,000, yes.
Yeah, let's keep it simple. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got £3,000 worth of repair, and the agreement is, it's a fixed price of £1,600. No, they will not repair it. They will not repair it. It will still be treated as a total loss because it will still be based on the repair costs, but all they're going to get paid is the fixed term rate. So, in other words, if the cost of repairs are £5,000,
Yeah.
but the vehicle's only worth £3,000, the insurance company doesn't turn around and say it's £1,500. That's all we're going to give you to repair an uneconomical vehicle. It doesn't work that way.
All right.
I think we've run out of time, haven't we?
Now, Dave. I think the listeners still want a drive time, right?
Well, you've got half an hour, mate. When your half an hour's up, you'll be back on Thursday, won't you?
We'll be back on Tuesday.
Tuesday. What day?
No, what's the day today? I'm just lost. Yeah, we're back on Thursday, right? Yeah.
Gordon Bennett, you're having me double checking there.
That what happens because the time goes so quick.
Yeah, well, that's it. So Thursday, same time, 11 o'clock, just after the news. You got the drive time with Michael and with Klavs. Michael's being sponsored by Starbucks UK. So if anybody wants any questions regarding the car, buying a car or getting it checked out, then email us at expatradio.fr@gmail.com, and I can forward the emails on to the boys, and we'll be able to actually answer the questions, get them answered for you. Right, chaps. Well, Happy New Year when it comes.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Yeah.
And by the way, Dave, I'm sitting here with a Costa mug in my hand, not Starbucks.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
All right. Hold on a minute. I'll get on to Costa. I'll give them a ring now. We'll get them on the.
Now you should phone carexima.com because this.
Free plugs I'm giving these coffee shops. Gordon Bennett should be getting a fortune out of them. My God. Can he have tea instead?
in a car exam mug.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, listeners, thanks for tuning in.
You're not the best. We'll speak to you.
Okay. Cheers, Dave.
Have an awesome New Year.
Yeah.
All right, thanks guys for tuning in. We and Michael, we're going to see you next year. Have an awesome one. Have a great one. And thanks for tuning in.
And join Klavs back on Thursday as well.